2023 Best Actress nominee Emma Stone stars in The House Bunny. It's currently available on Netflix, and it has audio description from ITFC. Shot. That's a deep cut. You don't hear them much for new audio description anymore, which means it's been around for a while. Narrated by Alex Newman, another name I don't see popping up on new content. So I think this audio description has been around for a while now, possibly even since the movie's original release. Who knows? Anyway, this stars Anna Faris along with Stone, Catherine McPhee, Kat Dennings, Rumor Willis, Colin Hanks, Beverly D'Angelo, and Christopher McDonald. And it was released a while ago. Not that long, but it's closer to its 20th anniversary than it is its 10th anniversary. We'll put it that way. it's creepy. Yeah, so I am continuing to do what I said and checking out a former work of a current Oscar nominee that has audio description, and Netflix thankfully provided me with The House Bunny. I'm not sure this is the film Emma Stone would want me to be representing her career after her new Oscar nomination, but you know what? Netflix also has La La Land, and La La Land does not have audio description. So, she could take it up with Netflix. Anyway, House Bunny is actually kind of a cute comedy. Features Anna Faris as a Playboy model who believes that she has aged out of being a Playboy model when she wakes up on the morning of her birthday to find a letter that tells her she's out. She's got to leave. So she gets in her crappy little car and goes through sort of a slight series of misadventures until she winds up on a fraternity row type area and sees a sorority, and it reminds her a lot of the Playboy Mansion. She's like, oh my God, I want to live here. And they're like, no. So she hears about being a house mother, and she's like, that's kind of what I did at the Playboy Mansion. So she finds the house that no one wants and is about to lose their charter because nobody pledges them. And she goes and helps and revamps them and revamps the girls and puts a new shine on everything and helps the girls save themselves and their house. I know that's a spoiler, but if you thought that movie was going anywhere else, then you had a really depressing... You've been watching way too many A24 movies. That's all I can say. This is an Anna Faris comedy. This is not... this is... No. If this was directed by Ari Aster, I'm sure they'd all be dead. But it's not. It's directed by Fred Wolf, who... not even that Fred Wolf. It's the one that used to be a Saturday Night Live writer and works frequently with Adam Sandler. This is a Happy Madison production. Was something I didn't even think about or remember because it doesn't have anybody who typically appears except maybe Christopher McDonald in Happy Madison movies. I mean, there really is not a standout here of somebody who's like, oh yeah, this person always does Happy Madison movies. So this totally makes sense. None of his BFFs that follow him around, that don't do anything but Happy Madison movies, are in this. It's just void of all of that, so it feels weird that it's a Happy Madison movie, but it is. It's a cute film. Anna Faris is playing to her strengths here. I wish we had more Anna Faris in our lives nowadays, or that she was challenged more as an actress. I feel like she did Mom and then just kind of fell off the face of the planet. And I don't think that that's really fair. She's always kind of done her thing and done it really well. And I would still watch stuff with Anna Faris if it was out. So this is a good reminder that she can anchor a comedy. Um, she doesn't also really need to anchor the comedy because honestly, this is a pretty stacked cast when she goes into that fraternity sorority house. And, uh, I mean, when you walk in and you have to make the lives of Emma Stone, Kat Dennings, Catherine McPhee, and Rumor Willis better, uh, you're fine. Like, those are four people who definitely their careers went onward and upward. Especially Stone, who after this, Oscar nominee, Oscar winner, Oscar nominee again this year. Um, so yeah, it's just one of those films that it somehow ages pretty well. You can watch it. Um, there was one word that was used that we don't use anymore. It's funny to look back on. Uh, we think about comedy and the evolution of comedy in 2024 and where we are now and the kind of jokes we don't make and how people get canceled for saying certain things. And there definitely is one. There's a drop here that I'm sure people will be like, ah. But I'm not going to use that like it was a different time because it's obvious that it was a different time because of the release date. So people always use that. They're like, it was a different time. Like I need reminding of that. Like, yeah, it's films from the 80s. Thanks. I have concept of time in my head. I know what the difference is between today and yesterday and years before. Um, and it just in general, yeah, we change as a people. Uh, that is what history class teaches us. So it doesn't necessarily, we can't use it as always an excuse for everything that we do. Like, well, it was a different time. We used to behead people. It was a different time. It's just like, okay. Um, so yeah, that was comedy in the 2000s. That's what, comedy in the 2000s is different than comedy in the 90s, was different than comedy in the 80s, was different comedy in the 70s, and comedy in the 60s, and so on and so forth. Which is different than comedy now. And I think most of this still works now. I think it's still funny. I think it will still make people laugh. It's not really, aside from one thing, it's not really offensive. Um, and it still is one of those films that focuses heavily on physical beauty over inner beauty a little bit, but at the same time, um, it also does it twofold in that not only are the girls within the sorority judged for their physical attractiveness, and which is one of the reasons why they're called losers on campus, but at the same time, Anna Faris, who is deemed to be ridiculously hot because she's a Playboy model, or recently former Playboy model, but still, you get it. And that she is judged for her looks in the other way. So even though she's attractive, that's all people see. And they don't see the kindness and warmth and everything that she has and her genuine desire to help others and her sort of like unselfishness. And maybe she's not the brightest bulb in the room, but she always comes through. So the audio description on this is mostly fine. There's some stuff that are like side gags that it seems to get right. It also just kind of does the thing that I think some people are annoyed by, where it kind of boldly announces things before they happen. And lets us know. There were some times where where I was just thinking, like, it doesn't, I was thinking about, like, how you see the scene, right? Because I saw House Bunny back in the day versus now. And sort of, like, just the little bit of description that you get versus the whole thing. So it's hard to sort of do transformation comedies that are based around somebody's physical appearance looks that way. And because you can't see the before and the after, you just get sort of descriptions of the before and the after. They work better in sighted realms. They do. Because you can see the before and you can see the after. Otherwise, you get sort of described and you can imagine the before and the after, but also at the same time, it's not like these girls are unattractive girls. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're not. I'm telling you that Emma Stone starts off this movie supposedly unattractive, and I'm sure that's like blowing your mind if you've never seen House Bunny, but conceptually know Emma Stone, right? Because she plays sexy all the time now. It's her whole thing in Poor Things. So the fact that she has to play one side and then the other, trying to tell you what that's like and convince you through audio description is a little bit of a challenge. So some of those jokes don't quite work the way that they might to a sighted audience, but I think there's enough charm here with the cast that the film ends up being delightful to watch regardless. Just an interesting perspective I have from, again, being sighted at one point and now being blind, and having seen this film on both sides of it. This is not like an Academy Award winning. This doesn't need awards, but it is fairly entertaining for what it is, and the fact that all these years later, and after having seen it more than once, this is at least my I would say fourth or fifth time seeing House Bunny. I think I've caught it at least 2 more times, either on cable or I think I own this on DVD. I'm not 100% sure. It feels like something I could have owned on DVD. Like if it was on sale, like a bargain bin, I would have been like, oh, I like that enough for $5. You know? And now I'm watching it and I'm realizing that I kind of still like it the same way I always did. It didn't really get worse. I'm not angrier at it. I didn't think the comedy aged poorly. Everything just was exactly how I remembered it, which is kind of amazing because I watch so many movies now as I get older that I'm just like, this isn't working for me anymore. So depressing. Or this doesn't work now that I'm blind. Like WALL-E was so sad. I loved WALL-E so much. But this is just exactly where I left off. So, with all that in consideration, I think it's a pretty good comedy. It's a pretty good representation of Anna Faris and the women of, I forget the name of the house, but whatever the women of this house, the combo of Stone, McPhee, Dennings, and Willis are all delightful. And Colin Hanks is fine. He's vanilla. He's supposed to be, though. His role's supposed to be pretty normal, pretty average. It all works. It's fine. I'm going to give it a House Bunny a B+. So, I don't know what I would have given it back in, or what I did give it back in 2006? 8? 6 or 8, something like that. Anyway, that's it. Congratulations, Emma Stone, on your illustrious career thus far. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching. Please click that subscribe button. I have a website, MacTheMovieGuy.com. You can follow me on X, Threads, or Instagram at MacTheMovieGuy. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It's a website where you can see what has audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to theadna.org and maybe look up at Alex Newman and see if he's done anything else that maybe you've seen before. Or maybe he's related to Randy Newman or Thomas Newman or anybody named Newman. Paul Newman. Too many people named Newman. They can't all be related. Anyway, subscribe for dumb jokes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the other side.